of statistical information. Just a couple of facts until I jump into the rest of the story. One of the facts is that 1 in 3 women and 1 in 4 men are victims of domestic violence. I think that's in the United States. And also, I think roughly 70% of domestic violence situations end up in homicide. So that's kind of a follow-up to why people stay. So anyway, back to the story. So, about 6 months before we ended up ending the situation, well, I didn't end it, I guess. Well, I don't know. Anyway, things started to get really bad, and he started to put his hands on me. So it started with throwing stuff, and then eventually it was, maybe one hit, and it like putting his hand over my mouth, and then he was like, "Oh gosh, I'm so sorry," and then he's crying. Then, they say they'll never do it again, and maybe we should just take a break and have some space, and then, whatever. They're gonna do it again, promise. So the story ends with, and the reason why I'm telling this story is because it needs to be brought to light that, first of all, men will lie about what they do 100% of the time, basically. And they make themselves out to be the victim, and I see this constantly all the time, where, we women don't get our full story out. And the men will make themselves out to be the victim, or they'll say that, "Oh, it wasn't that bad," or, "Oh, pray for me because I'm going through this hard time, blah, blah, blah." Okay, this is not the case, okay? I would say probably 7 times out of 10, the woman is not the psychopath, okay? So, that's not a real statistic, I'm just saying, from my experience. Anyway, so it ended up one night we were at a party, and yeah, I did, drink a lot, but anyway, that's not the point. So he ended up grabbing me by the back of my hair and started hitting me and hitting me and hitting me. He broke my nose, and it was just like leaking all over the place, blood everywhere. Then every time it would stop bleeding, he would hit me again. And this was like almost 7 years ago, which is why I can freely talk about it and it doesn't upset me. But I have, post-traumatic stress disorder from this situation. And then he started, choking me from behind, and to the point where I defecated and urinated on myself because I was dying. And then once that happened, I guess he felt my body weight, collapse. And so he grabbed me by the stomach, and I came back to and threw up everywhere. It was a mess. My house looked like a murder scene. And so then I tried to escape out the window, and he pulled me back inside, and I had a big gash on my leg from where the window had cut me. And this went on for 30 minutes or so. I finally made it out the window, and then he came around and jumped on top of me, and I'm screaming for help, and he said, "Shut up, because somebody's gonna call the police. Shut the F up, somebody's gonna call the police." And then his mother lived right in front of us, and she came out and, was like, I'm not gonna say his name because, I'm not gonna do that. But anyway, she came out and screamed his name and was like, "What's going on? What are you doing? Blah, blah, blah." And so then she tried to save me, and then she brought me into her house, and then he continued to beat me in front of his mother. So something is wrong upstairs when someone does something like that. And you never really see it coming at this point. And so then he just stopped. After a while, after what felt like, it felt like an hour, but it was probably like 5 minutes in front of his mom, he just stopped and sat on her bed and started crying. And so she brought him to the back of the house, and to like, I guess, talk to him or calm him down, or I don't know, something. And so then I took that opportunity to run. And at this point, I'm just in my underwear and like a t-shirt. And this is in October. And it's probably 3 o'clock in the morning at this point. So I took that opportunity to escape. And I ran out the front door, and I think I ran probably 2 blocks or 3. And I was knocking on everybody's door, and it's Halloween, so everybody started calling the police on me because we lived in a quiet neighborhood. And so I had bloody hair and bloody face, and like my whole face was swollen, and you know, my jaw had been dislocated and popped back in, and you know, so I looked like a nightmare. And so people thought maybe I was pranking them. And so, I mean, if you notice that I talk kind of crooked, that's why. So finally this man opened the door, and he gave me pants, and he gave me water, and he let me use his phone because the guy had my phone. And so he ended up following me all the way to this man's house. And thank God the police were like right around the corner because everybody had called the cops on me. So the police were right around the corner. Then here comes the EMTs, and then here comes the guy. And he sat right next to me on the porch of this man's house, and he said, "Babe." And I was like, "Ah, that's him." And so then they arrested him and took him away. And I mean, that was that. I mean, I had to choose between my love and my life, and so I chose my life. And that is what I want to convey to everybody out there. If you're in an abusive relationship, you should choose life rather than, oh, this guy, he probably loves me, I know he loves me. That may be true, but he doesn't know how to love you in the way that you deserve to be loved. So choose life, love yourself. This is Lady J. Like, subscribe, I'm out.